to church with a 2-drink minimum.
Alright. Everybody ready? We're going to sing. Hey, Lena. Okay. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. Welcome to the church with a 2-drink minimum. Welcome to the church with a 2-drink minimum. We are interfaith, interspiritual, God optional. So relax and get ready for a celebration. Welcome to the church with a 2-drink minimum. One more time now. Welcome to the church with a 2-drink minimum.
Bring down the house.
Everybody, come up with a human.
Hey, human.
Doggy!
About the wee doggies. How is everybody on this wonderfully beautiful, incredibly cold still?
It's pretty good over here,
It's pretty
actually.
good. It's pretty nice.
Not as cold as it was.
No.
And I'm so happy to be here on this Sunday afternoon with you. Wow. What a beautiful morning.
We had a great homily this morning.
Yeah, thank you, Reverend Susan.
I
Wasn't
know.
that great?
I know, Reverend Bacon.
I know, Reverend Susan Bacon. She was
delivering
awesome.
the truth.
Really?
And frogs. That was really good.
The frog story.
The frog story was really lovely. Really lovely.
And we're all set for a really great evening for all the programs this evening.
Packed.
I know, we're really happy about the evening. And so in our break that we took from the homily, we decided to watch the Ram Dass movie. So we're going to stay. I know, I'm so excited about it. Took notes. So our note-taking skills are intact. And yeah, so for all of y'all that are listening on the radio or whatever, you know, join us now if you want in the sanctuary, and also Something Genuine at 6. Then Regina's clarifying the teachings, and then at 7, and then at 8 we're going to discuss the movie with Ram Dass. What was it called again? Oops, I forgot. Becoming Nobody. Now that's an interesting topic for me, since I'm such a glitzy whatever person. But I really love this exploration.
Me too.
And I love the topic.
Yeah.
So.
And the way I talk about it is the desire to become invisible. You know,
interesting.
Becoming invisible is the way I talk about it.
Hey, Connie!
Yeah, Connie Poole, ladies and gentlemen, Connie Poole.
So, well, tell me a little more about what you mean by becoming invisible.
That's exactly what he's talking about. He goes, discover the difference between the part of you that has a beginning, a middle, and an end. Right? The learning device, the personality, the one who desires pleasure over pain.
Right.
You know, that
pleasure over pain.
Yeah, we seek pleasure and we try to avoid.
Oh,
pain.
right.
We try to avoid suffering, and we try to only experience, pleasure. Whether it's spiritual seeking or in whatever, like Yolanda really likes spicy food.
Right.
Okay.
It's painful to him.
There's a point in which it becomes pain for me that she does not experience. So and she experiences that as pleasure, and I experience it as pain.
Isn't that odd?
So who's right? Me. Right?
Me,
I know
of course. Me, of
I know
course.
me. See,
Here,
that's
cheers,
the difference.
cheers.
I know. Here's to pleasure and pain being just in your mind.
Hello. Oh, it's so nice to see you, Connie. How's the kitty? Is the kitty around?
Yeah.
She's
Okay.
over there. Okay. Hopefully, Arizona will join us with Tika. But yeah, I just feel so super relaxed
good afternoon.
today. And we cooked. We had some chicken and
she
green
cooked
beans.
and I ate. But it's Sunday. What do you do on Sunday afternoon?
I have a big old meal.
I know. You
So-
send this one into the kitchen. What'd you do?
And for after the evening is over, we're not going to eat it until then. I've made a date cake, and I can't wait to taste that.
It's called a super moist date cake.
So anyway, that's what we've been doing this afternoon, and we're very, very happy to start sharing with you this evening.
I know, because we're gonna talk. Yeah, we need to.
Wait, I want to put the lyrics in the.
Okay.
In the.
I'll do that. I'll do it.
Okay. There we go. I'm just gonna copy it, and there we go. Because we're gonna do our sing along. I've been getting some messages from folks that they're really enjoying the Grace Goes With Me sing along, so that makes me happy. And so we're gonna put the lyrics in the chat for ya. There we go. And if you're watching on YouTube, this week I put the lyrics over the image so you could sing along, and I will do the same.
I know.
But this week. So here we go. Let's try it. I'm getting used to it. Oh, here we come. Here comes Arizona.
I know.
Let's let Arizona get into the room.
I know.
Hey there, lovely lady.
Miss Z.
Ooh, she got something on her hands. It's very cute. Oh, look at jewelry. Oh, she's all blingy today. All right, we're about to sing. Oh, cute. And you can dance. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Grace goes with me. Wherever I go, she goes with me. Sacred mystery. Wherever I go, Grace goes with me. Wherever I go, sacred mystery. Wherever I go, her light surrounds me. Her love enfolds me. Her power protects me. And the presence of grace watches over me. So wherever I am, she is. And all is well. Grace goes with me. Wherever I go. Wait, look. Arizona's dancing. Okay, girl. Sacred dance. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Grace goes with me. Wherever I go, she goes with me. Sacred mystery. Wherever I go, Grace goes with me. Wherever I go, sacred mystery. Wherever I go, her light surrounds me. Her love enfolds me. Her power protects me. And the presence of grace watches over me. So wherever I am, she is. And all is well. Grace goes with me. Wherever I go. Wherever I go. Wherever I go.
Wherever you are.
She is,
and all is well. And all is well. And that's something to learn, isn't it? That all is well all the time.
Woo, I'm dropping things over here. All is well all the time. Even though we drop things.
As Yolanda slowly destroys the apartment that we're sitting in.
Oh, goodness, what a fun day. I'm having a great time already. And guess what the lesson is today?
No. Are you following along in the lessons?
Well, today's lesson 23. Oh, you want to go back a couple days?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. But wait, we should probably do the lesson song before we do these.
See, because the last time we were together, we were up to like, what?
Oh, yeah. Well, last week was the like 13th.
Yeah, so... So you remember how this progression goes. See, we've been talking a lot in this hour about, because we're starting the Course in Miracles again, and I don't know whether you know this or not. But you can read the Course in Miracles every year if you'll read 12.8 pages a week. It's really simple. And if you do the lessons every day, they sync up. So it's really cool. So we're doing Ram Dass later today.
Yeah.
And we're in the teachings and stuff. The clarification of terms.
For what?
Regina's doing the clarification
of her teachings.
Of her teaching.
Yeah,
So this meaning making becomes really important, and that's the section that we're moving to. The first section is about meaning making, and the second chapter is about the nature of the problem. Right. So this is, and the Course in Miracles tracks these things. So it says. In number 4,
God did not create a meaningless
number 14
world.
is God. Lesson 14. So we're working up to today. God did not create a meaningless world.
Right.
How do we live with that? And my thoughts, and 15 is my thoughts are images that I have made. A deep understanding of how we're doing. Our perspective is doing this to ourselves. And then 16 is.
I have no neutral thoughts.
I know. See, that's a little bit different than Buddhism, because Buddhism strictly says there's things that you don't care about, things that you do care about, and things that you don't have a neutral thing about. So we do the Tonglen practice. The Course in Miracles says if you look at it closely, you can probably say whether you're coming down on a positive or negative at them, and that's part of the Buddhist message as well. But so I see no neutral things.
Is 17. 18 is I am not alone in experiencing the effects of my seeing.
Yeah.
Which is so
It's
powerful.
profound because it's about oneness. So where's meaning made? It's meaning in the wholeness.
And 19 is not I am not alone in experiencing the effects of my thoughts. So the effects of my seeing and the effects of my thoughts.
I'm not alone.
And lesson 20 is I am determined to see.
And it breaks open.
21, I am determined to see things differently. Yesterday, which really rocked my world, what I see is a form of vengeance.
Woo!
And today, I can escape from the world I see by giving up attack thoughts.
I know, but she introduced vengeance before she introduces attack thoughts. So it becomes meaning making. Is it personal or is it universal? Is the meaning I have universal? Is it in the wholeness? Is it in the completeness? Or is this just my meaning, my thing, my very sharp idea?
Attack thoughts.
Yeah. Vengeance, right? Because it's all happening to me, right? It's happening to me. You know?
I know. And that's why the discussion later on about becoming nobody is
going to be very interesting. It's going to be really interesting.
So, but let's play the workbook lesson song because it's
this.
just so much fun.
Yeah, are you familiar with the the introduction
to the workbook lessons? And let's see, you got it?
I think so. It's right here.
Okay, let's do it. Here we go. No, that's the wrong one.
Oh.
Go back. Oh, there we go. All right.
Now it's done. Good instruction here. Sing along. Memorize?
The overall aim of the exercises is to increase your ability to extend the ideas you will be practicing to include everything. This will require no effort on your part. The exercises themselves meet the conditions necessary for this kind of transfer.
Remember, it's a transfer. We're doing this again.
Some of the ideas the workbook presents, you will find hard to believe, and others may seem to be quite startling. This does not matter. You are merely asked to apply the ideas as you are directed to do. You are not asked to judge them at all. You are asked only to use them. It is their use that will give them meaning to you and will show you that they true. Remember only this, you need not believe the ideas. You need not accept them. You need not even welcome them. And some of them you may actively resist. None of this will matter or decrease their efficacy. Do not allow yourself to make exceptions in applying the ideas your workbook contains, and whatever your reaction to the ideas may be, use them. Nothing more than that is required. Use them. Nothing more than that is required. Use them. Nothing more than that is required.
And if you're gonna stick around for Wrong Dots, he basically says all of this. Whatever your reaction to can we do that? Can we manage to be with be with what is happening, to be with what is, and everything's okay. Whether we like it, like Yolanda says, whether we like it or we don't like it. It is here. It is as it is, because this is what we must or need to experience in order to become who we are.
Yeah. Becoming nobody.
Becoming
very
nobody.
Interesting. Very interesting. And, you know, I wanted to say, let's just go back to today's lessons for a minute, just because it has a couple things that I wanted to say. If the cause of the world you see is attack thoughts, you must learn that it is these thoughts which you do not want. There is no point in lamenting the world. There is no point in trying to change the world. It is incapable of change because it is merely an effect. But there is indeed a point in changing your thoughts about the world. Here, you are changing the cause. The effect will change automatically. Wow.
And that comes from letting things be exactly as they are. You know, and that we're adequate and enough already here as we are.
Hey,
And
Jacqueline!
yeah, I know, Jack. No.
Wow, we're off and running here in just a lovely way. So, yeah, let's go into our little meditation. Jacqueline, we've danced, we've sung, we've pranced around.
We've shared recipes.
We've shared recipes. And there's more to come.
I know. There is. There's always more to come.
Oh, so, you know, let's do our circle of love. And I'm going to share a song after that called Free Your Mind. And, yeah, let's just bask in this wonderful love that we're co-creating right now in this room. Here we go. 3 breaths, 3 bells, and an om at the end. Here we go. As we breathe together and sound the sound of Om, the sound of life, the sound of the universe, we just consciously know that we are co-creating together a circle of love in this room, which extends from our hearts out into the rooms that we are sitting in physically and into all the living beings that are surrounding us in the rooms that we're sitting in. And this love moves out of our spaces, our personal spaces, into our buildings and our streets and our cities and our towns and our country and the world, because we are all connected. We are one. And in this understanding, we accept and we know that everything that we like and everything that we do not like is included in this circle of love. And sometimes I need to take a deep breath when I think of that. I'm just allowing things to be as they are today, and invite you and all of us to allow ourselves to free our minds, free our hearts, and be open to that which truly is. To be open to becoming nobody. And as we explore this, we take a moment in the silence, and we say, blessed be. And so it is. I realize you think that I don't speak too clearly. You must acquire the patience to have ears to hear me speak your name. It's just the same as listening to the music on the radio. The frequency you tune to is high or low. It depends on you and the things you do, the way you spend your time and occupy your mind. Take your time to free your mind. I know there's many questions that you'd like to ask, but you're missing all the love that comes across your path. So take it slow. Let the river flow. Feel the healing, gentle cleansing. Take your time to free your mind.
It's kind of trippy.
Trippy!
I know.
It is trippy over here today. You know, like, this week has been full of surprises for me. I want to read this again before we go into the lesson. Sure. Because every day I find a new meaning and a new
Understanding.
Oh, Kathy's here. Hey, Kathy.
Tell him what you're reading from.
Well, once again, my favorite quote from Mantras of the Mother. I just have to revisit it with you because every day brings new opportunity for me to get upset about something.
It's usually me.
But lately, this week, really, been trying my patience, y'all. Oh, thank you, Kathy. Thank you so much. So yeah, there's been some unexpected things happen this week, and I nearly lost my mind about it.
Well, we've had some. Well, as you know, we've had some close friends of ours die. Close friends of ours died, and we've had a group of friends become positive for COVID. Yeah, that we're very close to.
So, I've been revisiting this every day this week. At the service of the divine we are, it is the divine who decides, ordains, and puts in motion, directs, and accomplishes the action. That brings me such comfort. It really, really does. It is all handled. It really is. If I let it be handled.
Well, the divine is doing it, so there's nothing to worry about or be upset about.
Right.
So what happens there? Thank you.
Cheers.
That was lovely.
I have to revisit that.
Definitely worth drinking too.
I know, right?
Yeah, definitely worth drinking too.
Mm. Tea. Just a reminder, it's tea.
So when we talk about what happens when you're on the other side of that, what mind can write, I see that the divine is doing and performing all actions. What mind sees that? What mind has that observation?
A mind that has given up attack thoughts.
A mind yes, a mind that has given up attack thoughts.
Surely.
Okay, so perfect segue into in the second chapter, as I've mentioned, is about she describes in the second chapter of Course in Miracles what the problem is. Now we talk about here it's separation, right? Well, there's like 8 ways in which we manifest and manifest the separation in our lives in psychology and such. And the last section in chapter 2 is what happens when that moves, when we're on the other side of that problem, when the problem has been seen and we begin working directly with the separation, our own ideas and our own beliefs in separation.
Okay.
And she calls that idea the apocalypse.
Oh, yeah. Oh, we're using the apocalypse word. Ooh, button pushing.
I know. So
be prepared.
So
you need to show this image.
I know. I want to show this image to you because it's very. I think it's very pretty.
Yeah.
Are you familiar with this image? The one with there's a tree that the mushroom cloud becomes
a tree.
Becomes a tree. So that's like the transformation of destruction into creation. And so that's exactly the idea that the Course in Miracles is trying to get us to. She's trying to get us to the end of chapter 2, in which we can see it, and this is called the Last Judgment.
Ooh.
Okay. So, as I did on Wednesdays, I like this entire first paragraph. Now, I've highlighted a few things, but would you just read the entire? Short. Just read the entire first paragraph.
It's really cool. Okay.
So it sets up. Now, remember, she tells you what the problem is. She tells you why you won't do it, and then she reiterates. Okay, so this is her.
What's she reiterating now?
Well, the reiteration is at the very end. What I used to call the altar call.
Gotcha.
So this first paragraph is what the problem, the concept she wants to give us. So read this to us.
Okay, here we go. Chapter 2, the separation and the atonement, section
9.
Oh, that is section 9. The meaning of the last judgment. Okay. One of the ways in which you can correct the magic miracle confusion is to remember that you did not create yourself. Dun, 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 dun.
I know, some of us think we are self-created.
Oh, God. You are apt to forget this when you become egocentric. And this puts you in a position where a belief in magic is virtually inevitable. Your will to create was given you by your creator, who was expressing the same will in his creation. Since creative ability rests in the mind, everything you create is necessarily a matter of will. It also follows that whatever you alone make is real in your own sight, though not in the mind of God. This basic distinction leads directly into the real meaning of the last judgment.
Okay, so what's she really getting at here? She wants us to like find out for yourself the difference in your own mind between magic and miracles.
Yeah, I like that.
Between illusion and reality. And she calls illusion just wishful thinking. Just wishful thinking, just like I want it to be different. Just wanting it to be different, the wishful thinking. And she calls this ability we have, or misability, how we apply this idea is either making or creating.
Right.
Okay, and this is the distinction between illusion and reality. Reality is created and we're not doing it. We're participating in the reality that God is creating. God has created us and we have that ability. We're creators just like God, as God, the oneness. Or we can use this inherent ability to create or expand what is real, or the experience of what is real, into something very, 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 very personal that's just for me.
Oh, right. So that's what she calls making. Right.
Illusion. Magic is what she calls it here. And it is our nature, she assures us, don't spend too much time trying to figure out whether, what to create or how to, because that's who we are. A cat, the example I always say is my cat does not wake up every morning and go to cat school to find out how to be a cat today. She's always been a cat and she will always be a cat.
Yes.
Whether or not I understand it or anything like that.
And her name is Gracie.
Her name is Gracie. So this is our nature, to express what is real. It's our nature. And so she asks us to say, what are your talents? They need to be your talent at creating is skills development, is doing what is yours to do in the world, doing what is ours to do in the world. And we have body and material conditions as a result of this cause, of this reflection of who we are. This is the distinction of this alone feeling we have, and this feeling of wholeness and completeness, or what she calls the God mind, the mind of God that creates. Or you can be alone. And that is a desire for some people, because it feels so dangerous, right, to be in a group. And we talked about darkness last week. That's the idea of dark. If I can hide and nobody can see me, then I won't get hurt. Or if I hide from you, then I can manipulate you or the world, or make something different. It's the making versus creating. And we didn't create ourselves. So we can either participate with what is, or we can abandon what is and use that innate ability to suffer.
Yeah.
By making something that's not real and trying to make it real. So we are creating this. We either are creating a false world to live in and experience, or we are participating with what is already real.
Yeah.
As the creation. So what do we want to do? And she says, this brings us to the last judgment. So read what I've highlighted here.
I am, but I want to go back in the room. Now, so let's see if there's something in the chat. Anybody? Oh, thank you. That was from Kathy. But I do want to encourage folks, if you have any questions, or if something's on your mind as we're going through this, because we switch back and forth between screens, we'd love to hear from you. So put it in the chat. We'll check back.
Or interrupt.
Or interrupt. Yeah, you can unmute and interrupt if something's really on your mind. Okay, here we go.
So read this bit.
Judgment is not an attribute of God.
Period.
Wow.
Now that's really weird, right?
Well, I think
The way
later on,
she's going to explain this, but
what,
find that place in your heart where we still believe that judgment is an attribute of God.
Right. I think she says it later, but
she does.
It's discernment that we really want to have. But anyway, judgment is not an attribute of God. It was brought into being only after the separation, when it became one of the many learning devices to be built in the overall plan.
Okay, there
so
are
it's a learning device
that are built in
to the
overall plan. So what do you need to
Yeah.
worry about? What do we really need to worry about? Ding,
Nothing.
ding, 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 ding. As Yolanda was reading from the mother. Okay, read this next part. This next part I highlighted for you.
It is essential, however, that you free yourself quickly, because you must emerge from the conflict if you are to bring peace to other minds. And isn't that something we want to do?
Mind,
I know, isn't that
and
something?
The rest will follow.
I know, right.
It is essential, however, that
you free yourself quickly.
Okay, who are you freeing?
Who are you freeing? Oh, everyone.
I know,
Actually,
but that's like
myself
free
and
yourself
everyone.
quickly.
Uh-huh.
Because if you can emerge from
the
this
conflict.
interior conflict, you will bring peace
to other minds.
I know.
See, I like it that she's talking about the mind right here.
Uh-huh.
I don't know. Many of us are, at home, and a lot of us are by ourselves, and the mind can
Alone.
be
Just
alone,
feeling
and
of
you can feel
aloneness.
alone
Yeah,
and
sure.
tricky, and if we free ourselves from this judgment, we can bring peace to our minds and to other minds.
Judgment as a learning device. So think about even your judgment, even what we don't like or can't do or upset about, even that is a learning device. So there is no judgment in God, because there's no judgment in reality. There's no real purpose in judging what is. Right? Because it is because it's there for us to learn. It's there because we put it in motion. The cause is there. It's there because it had a cause that we need to learn from. Well, that can be a real threat to our egocentric identity. Yes, Helen Schuckman was a Jungian psychologist. She certainly was. And so, but don't worry. There's a good news. There's a grand plan. There's a grand plan. And she uses this phrase. She goes, "Look, this plan took millions and millions of years to get where you're experiencing it. It might take another couple million for this all to be work itself out and work itself through. So is the way it appears now the problem? No. And judgment so she contrasts that with judgment as a conflict. See, we can use judgment as a learning device. We can also double down.
Right.
But it is. It is.
Yeah.
Well, judgment, and that's judgment as a conflict, and we can even learn from that. So she asks us to make a commitment to the goal. It is essential, however, please make a commitment to the goal of bringing peace to other minds and resolving the conflict we have right here and now. That's the final judgment. To say, oh, I'm not going to do this. This is emerging from the conflict, our own interior seeing the world in conflict, seeing, how do we look at the world? How do we see the world? How do we see ourselves? How do we see our place in it? How do we see what is ours to do? This is emerging from the conflict, and we begin to participate in the creation of peace on earth, as peace in our own mind. May peace extend from my mind to yours.
Yeah.
This is to free yourself quickly from judgment. That's the proper use of judgment. To say, I don't want this. This isn't my goal. I'm not participating in what doesn't work.
The proper use of judgment is to free yourself quickly from judgment.
How ethical is that?
How about that?
Absolutely.
Let's see if anybody has a comment about that.
Ethical is that. So judgment is also a tool. It's both sides of that issue.
That's funny. I like it.
So read this.
Okay.
Read this bit.
Listen to this, y'all. The last judgment is generally thought of as a procedure undertaken by God.
A procedure.
A procedure, yeah. Actually, it will be undertaken by my brothers with my help. It is a final healing rather than a meeting out of punishment.
A final healing?
Healing.
The apocalypse as the final healing?
I know.
And who's it undertaken by?
All of us.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right. What's the last judgment?
The last judgment might be called a process of right evaluation. It simply means that everyone will finally come to understand what is worthy and what is not. Woo! Hallelujah! Glory!
What is worthy? What is worthy?
And what is not?
So there's the judgment. If you like the judgment and the discernment, and what she's asking us to take a look at is evaluate our valuing conflict, our valuing wanting it different, our valuing and spending our lives and our energies and our connection and our creative energy in order to stop, limit, to recognize that. And the last judgment is, I don't want it, that doesn't work.
Yeah.
It doesn't work. My right evaluation is to actually see that bringing peace to other minds is what is going to satisfy me.
Right.
The last judgment is not a procedure. It's not a thing that happens. It's something that we do together as part of our healing, as
Right.
opposed to saying who needs to be punished.
Right. It's
Who's
a
got
process.
it wrong, and who's in the in group, and who's in the out group, and who's doing it right, and who's not doing it right.
Right. The last judgment might be called a process of right evaluation
Right.
as compared to a procedure of judgment.
Right.
Oh,
The
I love
throne, and the story that's always sort of is the goats and the sheep. Right.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So the final healing as the last judgment, it's undertaken by a community, not to punish, and it requires help from right minds that are joined in the goal of peace. You hear that? To help others and ourselves as you help me turn my mind peaceful and to give up the desire for conflict. Right evaluation as the last judgment. It's discernment, isn't it? This last judgment to finally put away childish things, right? The childish toys, we heard that from last week. Everyone understands and shares this same value, whether we recognize it or not. Everybody's working for self-fulfillment. Everybody's working toward greater peace. Everyone.
Yep.
And seeing it as one purpose, seeing it as one creation, seeing it as one thing is this last vestige of, I have to do it all by myself. I have to double down, and you're stopping me, and I can't have what I want because you appear in a certain way, or this appears in a certain way. Okay, but there's a warning she gives, and she goes, "Don't worry, vacillations will occur. You will go in and out of probably in and out of this understanding and the oneness and not oneness. You'll be angry, and then you'll be I'm doing this magic thing again. I'm trying to limit my brothers, or I have this. I think this should stop." We will. Well, she says, because there will be probably vacillations as we do this skills development and we learn our own minds and our addiction to conflict.
Yeah.
She goes, notice when your means don't match the ends. Notice when you're doing what doesn't jive with the world that you want to create, the world that you say is real. And the way I say the world that you say is real, because we're learning this about ourselves. I want to experience this. I'm told this exists and this is how reality works. So even if I don't believe it, because it's not important, it's not that even that important to believe it, because it's so true that I can participate with something I don't even believe in, and it still works. Okay, that's how ethical it is.
And that's why the workbook instructions are so
good.
good. Yeah,
The overall aim of the exercises is to increase your ability to extend the ideas you will be practicing to include everything. Yeah, we never say this in our house. We never say it. We don't. So this is this is the sleep, awaken, repeat cycle that we're in chapter 2. So not even to be judgy about going to sleep again, or not getting it right, or not living up to your own sense of accomplishment. This magic making. I should be creating this personality that's seen in a certain way and needs to be a certain way, or participates in a certain way. No. Participate in the creation of an expansion of what is already real, the love that is in our hearts, the joy that it is that our presence is. the participation and help from others that create a peaceful mind, that we can participate in the mind of God because we share it as our right minds. So read this next bit.
I will, but let's see if there's any comments. I'm really interested. Oh, a comment. In other words, notice when I am stressed out trying to get to peace.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's for
and
sure.
If you're like me, you'll discover patterns that you keep going to the same rut. You'll keep going to the same thought pattern, the same experience, or the same, like a friend of mine said once. She goes, "I've been married 4 times, and it was to the same guy." You know, because she keeps making the same mistake over and over and over again, right? Just in a different body. You know, you might recognize. I could.
I was doing that for a long time until I met you.
I know. I love this right mind. You know, she can see me. So read this. So this is all right. Yeah, the sleep, awaken, repeat cycle. So go ahead. Read the next bit.
Oh, okay. The first step toward freedom involves a sorting out of the false from the true.
The first step towards freedom
involves a sorting out of the false.
Involves your own discernment and saying what you want, what you don't want, what actually works. It just is, you know.
And it's interesting. So this is what she says next. This is a process of separation in the constructive sense and reflects the true meaning of the ding, 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 buzzword, apocalypse. The mind, at the same time, the mind will inevitably disown its miscreations, which, without belief, will no longer exist.
We don't have to, wrestle our ego to the ground and, strangle it.
Yeah.
Okay? That's the exact opposite of what she's asking you. The mind will inevitably disown its miscreations. Will stop believing in what the Course calls magic.
Right.
And without belief, it goes away because belief is how things are maintained in the world. The way magic is maintained is our belief in it. And the first step toward freedom is what? Being able to recognize the false and
from
the
true. Yeah.
And it's the process of this separation
in the constructive sense
that helps us build together what we want. In order to build what we want, we have to let go of building what we do not want.
Yes.
Right? And not participating in the magical creation, the magical creationism. So this is apocalypse as freedom. This is the separation of false from true. It's using our reason. The last judgment as a reason, as a discernment device. So the choice is to keep what is good, to keep what is true, to keep what works, to keep what is, the joy and the love that we are and express and want to experience. Keeping creation and letting go of making
anything.
Wow. Keep the creation and let go of the making. If I have to maintain it and create it, then it's probably not real.
Or make it in this terminology.
Make it, yeah. So look with love upon creation. The creation, what is created, what is real, is worthy. Rises to the level of worthiness of our interaction, worthiness of our presence, the worthiness as a criteria for inclusion in the truth. Worthy. You are worthy. We are worthy. The joy and love and peace we want to experience is the worth we see in the world. This is worth doing. What is mine to do in the world is worthy. Miscreations exist only because we keep making them. And it's the belief as cause of miscreation or creation. Belief is the cause of miscreation or creation. I believe that if this doesn't exist, I will be happy. I believe that if this is different, then I'll be happy. If I had a different body, or if I had these different things that happened to me, I would be a happier person. That's magical thinking in the Course, in the cosmology of Course in Miracles, and she calls those miscreations. Yeah, miscreates a world in which we support our own suffering and the institutions and the suffering of others. All right. So last paragraph here, and we're done.
All right. If the meaning of the Last Judgment is objectively examined, it is quite apparent that it is really the doorway to life. Dun, da, da, da. No one who lives in fear is really alive. Oh my God,
There's
I
your
love
cross-stitch
that
pillow
sentence.
moment for today.
No one who lives in fear is really alive. That's
Yeah.
amazing. Wow.
Put that on the television. Put
Yeah.
it on your television.
No one who lives in fear is really alive.
I know.
Oh gosh. You can, however, let's see, what's she talking about here? Apply your own last judgment cannot be directed towards yourself because you are not your own creation. You can, however, apply it meaningfully and at any time to everything you have made and retain in your memory only what is creative and good.
There's the process.
Yeah. This is what your right-mindedness cannot but dictate. When everything you retain is lovable, there is no reason for fear to remain with you. This is your part in the
So
atonement.
how do you get rid of? How do you let go of fear? I wouldn't say get rid of. I almost did,
Yeah.
but how would you let go of fear?
Well, I have a lot of processes that I do that help me.
How do you
let
retain
go.
what is lovable in your mind?
Okay.
Everybody does that a little bit differently.
Yeah.
This is your part in the atonement.
Right.
When everything that you retain, hold
Is
on
lovable.
to, or interact with, participate with, value, decide is worthy. When everything you retain is lovable, there is no reason for fear to remain with you because you've learned the lesson that there is nothing to fear. So you're on the other side of this believing that conflict brings you anything that you want. Attack thought. My attack thoughts are I'm not experiencing. I'm not alone experiencing the effects of my attack thoughts.
Yeah.
The doorway to life is the apocalypse, and the word apocalypse just means lifting of the veil.
Yeah.
Right? So it's just lifting the veil.
That's a big mystery resolved right there. The apocalypse, because we've used it in a certain way for so long, has this big scary.
I know. The way I use
thing.
it is the old timey days when you lift when brides wore the veil and the kiss comes right after you see your bride for the first time. So the apocalypse is the seeing of the brides, the seeing of what is true, the created, the beauty and love that is here. So the end of illusion is apocalypse. She's here. The bride is here. Your love is here. The end of an egocentric identity is the apocalypse. No one who lives in fear is really alive. And if the world can make you afraid, they can limit your creation. So letting go of the past is the apocalypse. Letting go of the past is the apocalypse. My past is not going to define me anymore. What I made mistakes about and what I have learned, I can put aside and say I'm going to use my learning to participate with others and my brothers at creating a greater community in a peaceful mind.
Yeah.
So the purpose of time is to give us time to use our reasoning skills, our right-mindedness as skills development. Develop our skills at seeing through the desire for conflict and the desire to make magic. So the promise is we'll have a mind full of everything that is lovable. How about that? Do you want a mind full of everything that is lovable? My part is to match means and ends. My part is to change my mind about who I am and act on it. My name is Reverend Glenn Morton Ganaway, your favorite anarchist preacher. You are at church with a 2-drink minimum.
Indeed.
This is the love of my life, the Reverend Yolanda right here.
Woo-hoo. Everybody's got their teas.
So the mushroom cloud becomes the tree of life.
Yeah. That is really cool.
You know, our conflict, we see through it and we build what we want. So tell them about the song.
Well, yeah, I want to go ahead and play this song so we don't run over. Everything. Oh, Cindy's here too. Hi, Cindy. This is just based on. This song is based on "The World I See Holds Nothing That I Want." That lesson, and then the lesson after it, beyond this world there is a world I want. So anyway, let's just go ahead and share that.
bone ver akamore rajuni sevam guru prasad jak ad such to God such heavy such nanaka hose be such Ekon kar sahatanam karta purkanire boni ber akal mure rajuni sevam guru prasad jak ad such jugad such heavy such nanaka hose be such The world I see holds nothing that I want. Beyond this world, there is a world I want. Oh, there is a world I want. Oh, there is a world I want. Valueless. I escape the chains I've placed upon my mind and open the door to my true self and open the door to my true self. Letting go. Today I practice letting go. I allow myself to move beyond. I allow myself to move beyond. Oh, restore my mind. Oh, free my wings. Karta porcanire bone ver akamure rajuni sevam guru prasad jap ad such to God such heavy such nanaka hose be such.
Yeah. Thank Thank you, everybody. Thank
So
you for
grateful
joining
for your
us.
presence. So grateful for your help in creating the peaceful mind of God that we all can experience. You
Today
are
I
essential.
practice letting go.
I know you are worthy.
Absolutely. Okay, so we're staying for something genuine and for the rest of the evening. We love you. We're giving up the mic. See you next Sunday.